Episode 4. Hello!
Hello, everyone!
Hi, guys.
It's the three of us today. So it's me, Brittany, hello.
And I'm Wendy, hi.
And I'm Cricket.
Hello. Okay, alright. So we're going to actually finish up our types of witches today. And I think we ended with storm and weather witches because Cricket told us the really crazy good story about the googly eyes, and there was a big storm, and the Renaissance Festival man got fucked. That's a very good recap.
Yes.
That should be. I should be like the person that comes up with like trailer ideas.
There you go.
So the next thing is a cottage or hearth witch. And apparently that is a variation of a kitchen witch.
Okay.
Which we'll talk about next. But it is magic that is weaved, worked, or imbued, oh, such fancy words, into tasks around your house or for loved ones. So cottage or hearth magic may be worked into daily tasks such as cleaning, cooking, or any hobbies that you would do. Like the laundry.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I didn't realize that was a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because, like, we were talking about the last time, how I have, like, a ritual of folding the laundry, like, doing the laundry and then folding it, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
And when I first started working with things, I realized that getting ready for bed and stuff, I think I might have mentioned this last time, too, like, getting ready for bed and washing my face and making sure I brush my teeth and all that personal hygiene stuff, like, really helped me, and, like, I definitely
Does it just
felt
make
like
you feel better?
It's like it makes me feel peace. It makes me feel powerful. It's a lot of different feelings. It just, but using it as like a ritual, because I deal with depression and stuff, it like didn't make it feel like a task.
Right.
And that was really amazing.
Yeah.
And I could definitely see how that's an actual type of witchcraft. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
One of my friends, my good friends, who is also pagan, she's very much your traditional, like, hearth, kitchen witch sort of person. She's made really cool, all kinds of really cool spells where she's actually made an apple pie that was actually a spell. So in the bottom of the crust, she actually made a sigil.
Oh.
And then she used specific ingredients within the pie filling itself to bring about certain aspects, like I think it was cinnamon and apple. So that was her main basis for it, and maybe a little bit of vanilla. So that was sort of a basis. I think it was for her in-laws, to kind of sweeten her in-laws and make them love her. So that's what she baked for them and brought to them. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. So she's really cool.
I don't bake people shit.
Well, you can eat bread now, so I wouldn't want to cook stuff I can't eat.
I would cook it still for someone, but only if they were going to eternally love me and pledge their devotion to me. I take this shit way too far. I'm just like, I hope, like, she's probably like, your friend is probably like, oh, I really hope they like me. And then I'm like, I hope they pledge their devotion to me forever.
But yeah, she's definitely very much that way. And I think she's done another one where she actually, like, spins her own wool and things like that.
That's cool. That takes a really long time, Yvonne.
It does. She spins, washes, dyes all of her own wool, and then she actually uses it to, like, crochet or knit something for people.
That's really nice.
Yeah, so that's very much her area of expertise.
Yeah.
If you guys are interested in any of that kind of stuff, Magical Household by Scott Cunningham is a really, really good book.
Ooh. You mentioned him before. He has another book that you like.
He has lots of books that I like. So Scott Cunningham is very much, when I first started reading a lot about witchcraft and Wicca, that was very much the guy that I tended to gravitate to. So I feel like a lot of my own practices and beliefs are sort of based off of him. Because I read a lot of his work, and it just sort of resonated with me.
Right. Cool. So the next one, like I said, it was going to be Kitchen Witch. And that is magic that is worked specifically through kitchen crafts, such as herbal mixtures, brewing, baking, cooking. It honors many aspects of the natural world, including herbs, crystals, Fae, and the elements.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. And I had no idea that she would like carve sigils and stuff. I didn't even think of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like just putting things into, that's really neat.
Yeah, and like the specific ingredients. So not only was she making a pie, but she purposefully chose certain ingredients for the middle of the pie.
Right.
For her intention too.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's really, really neat.
So the next one is a tea witch.
Huh.
Yes.
Those who drink tea, me. Make tea, me. Spill tea, me. I just added that one. No, there was no spilling tea. But using tea leaf divination or enjoy blending herbal remedies. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy blending teas. Mm-hmm. Joe really enjoys blending. He is a tea witch. He wouldn't say it, but he's legitimately like, he enjoys picking tea. Like we have some that are just herbs. So we have like fresh lavender in our tea cabinet. We have like a whole a cabinet full of tea. And so we have just herbal mixtures where it's just like dried cranberries, dried orange, so on and so forth. And then we have lavender. And then at the bottom we have all of our actual teas. And so we'll have some bag tea if we're being lazy that day. That's a very serious man on a very serious bicycle. Very serious. So, but he is so good at blending them and making them taste delicious. He used to not be. He was like, let's mix lavender and cardamom and cinnamon. And I was like, that doesn't sound good.
That sounds really
And
good.
in fact, no, it was terrible because they're all, so for tea blending, you can have one or two strong elements. So you could do lavender and cardamom, or you could do cinnamon and cardamom, but you can't do all three of them because it's going to be like...
Oh, so he put the lavender in there too.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So it's like you have to pick two elements. So that's usually when you look at teas on like a shelf in the store.
It's like when you blend perfume.
Yes, exactly. So you have your two like notes, your two strong notes.
Yeah.
And then you have your undertones, which are like, your basis would be the tea. Mm-hmm. And so you could have a black tea or a green tea. White tea is actually great to have stronger elements with because it's very chill.
Lots of really good fruit flavors.
Yes, exactly. Yes. White flavored tea is not my favorite, but it's good. It's good. So, yes, he's very much learned a lot from all that teas. Now, we've never, looked at our tea leaves at the end and been like, that looks like death.
Oh, I super, super want you guys to get into, tasseomancy now.
I've always heard of it, but it's always been I've read it through Harry Potter. Thank you, Harry Potter. Thank you. But yeah, I've never, it's cool. I think everyone should try tea because there will always be a tea for every person. Some people are like, I don't like tea. And I'm like, have you tried them all? You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
There's so many different teas out there. You really can't say.
Cricket served me some chocolate tea the other day. God damn, it was good.
Yeah.
Oh, it was delicious.
The really cool thing is one of my friends who actually introduced me to paganism. She actually went and she studied abroad when she was in college, and she wasn't sure if she wanted to go. So there's a really great tea shop in downtown Asheville that's called Dobra Tea, and the owners actually ended up being from the Czech Republic, and they suggested this chocolate tea to her, and she was like, chocolate tea? Yes.
Yes.
So she ordered it, and she based her decision on whether or not she should go to the Czech Republic and study abroad on whether or not she would like this tea. And she ended up loving it. And so she formed this really great relationship with people who own Dobra. And ended up going to the Czech Republic and had a fantastic time, traveled all around Europe. And that's where I really learned about it too, because it's delicious.
Yep.
And I don't know what it is about their specific blend, because I've tried lots of different chocolate teas, but theirs is the best. So if you're ever in Asheville.
There you go. Dobra Tea.
Dobra Tea.
So the next type of witch is one that Wendy aspires to be.
Ooh.
It's a tech witch.
Yes!
So it's magic that is skillfully worked through technology. A tech witch will most likely have at least a few magical apps on their phone, digital sigils, and/or an online digital book of spells or grimoire. So that's pretty cool. I didn't even think of having one online.
Yeah.
I don't know, of course I aspire to do, tech witchy stuff, with code and stuff when I learn it. I don't know, I just think there's something about doing it with your hands.
Yeah, no,
liberating
I
in
could
your
see
hands.
that, yeah.
But I also definitely see the importance of, like, even if you take what you make and scan it in to, like, something that you can keep online, because you never know what's going to happen in your life. You never know, like, when something's going to get damaged or lost.
Or maybe you just have, like, a regular one for at home, and then you have a digital one for travel.
Yeah.
And so if you're like, oh, I don't have anything, I can pull my phone out and add my notes. That is something that Wendy has always done. She is always, like, I remember going back to her, like, last apartment. She would, like, record or make notes on her phone, and it was just, like, that's something that I could see you doing.
Yeah.
Like,
I
recording
totally
things.
Put Scott Cunningham?
Yep.
Yeah, I just pulled out my phone and made notes.
Yep.
You can't see it because we're audioed, but
yeah,
I did it.
So yeah, that's actually really cool. And one of my grimoires is actually online. It's my Pinterest board.
That's what I was gonna say, because I asked you about it, and then you were like, "It's on Pinterest," and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, I have a couple of different boards that are geared towards specific types of witchcraft. So I have like a general pagan board, and then I think I have one for specific stuff pertaining to different kinds of divination, and then I think I have another one that I think is geared more towards crystals and things, because that's where I live. I love it. But so that's definitely like a kind of technology-based grimoire.
Yeah, but Pinterest is like amazing for stuff like that, because you forget so easily.
Yeah.
And instead of taking time to, like, make it or print it out or whatever, you just saved your sources, because obviously everyone knows the internet is full of information.
Yep.
So I love that. And another thing that I really love about tech witches too, a lot of the things that I've seen now is where people are actually doing emoji spells. So they'll take different kinds of emoji and place them in a certain order, and that will bring about like certain things. So it's just like using a candle or incense or whatever you want. So it's specific symbols that they're using to sort of raise that vibration and put it out to the universe.
Huh.
And a lot of times when you go onto websites like Facebook, if you have like an online coven or group you like practice with or talk to about your different crafts, or Tumblr, which is kind of a mixed bag, just be careful there.
Yeah. For sure.
But a lot of people will do online sigils or emoji spells where you can sort of put your own energy into it too. So it's like everybody's charging and casting the spell or the sigil over and over again, which I think is really, really cool. So that's something that I've seen that I think is really, really unique to the technology.
And I just love that it's a total wonderful picture of how the craft is evolving all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just... it's from what we've talked about, you can clearly know that we don't believe it's just like an old world religion that we're trying to like keep alive.
Right.
It's a living, growing religion, and you don't see that in very many.
You don't.
You just don't. Everything like, I grew up very Christian, and it's the exact same rules that everyone went by 100 years ago, even though our world is very, very different now.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful to have something that you can see evolve and grow naturally.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful thing.
I think so too. And I was actually reading an article on my favorite site, Pathos, the other day, where our biggest thing now is this inclusion of these people who are trans within the community, because I think that there's not a lot of resources, and there are still a lot of TERFs within the pagan community. So TERF stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminists. Which is really sort of a terrible thing, because, I mean, trans people are people too, and they should absolutely be included in this.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people who are in some of these communities are saying that there's no room for you here, and that's just not the case.
Yeah.
So it was really someone's own perspective of how they've noticed the craft evolving to make space for trans people in the community, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah, that's very cool. And important.
Yeah, super.
But that's awesome, because it's like, no other religion is going to do that.
No.
No one else is going to do that. So, then we have one that I'm very fond of. Garden witches.
Yeah!
While having a garden and or working in any type of garden, magic that is mostly, if not all, herbal and botanical related. Garden witches take pride and find it calming or invigorating to work the earth, harvest that which they have planted, are closely related to the green type, which is what we had talked about before. We talked about dream witches, hedge witches, and green. Mm-hmm. Dream, green, and hedge witches. And how they're all related. But yes, like, I don't know, gardening is so, oh my God, so chill.
Yeah, and it's, like, you kind of talked about how you have this tradition that's kind of passed down through your family where, you know, your mom taught you how to garden and, you know, is still teaching you how to garden and is advising you. And that very much reminds me of
that bitch wanted to come and take some peppers yesterday. And I was like, excuse me, you have your own peppers. And she didn't come over. I didn't want her to take any because I like them. But when the extremely hot ones come in, we have these ones called Scotch bonnets. They look like little devils. Ooh. They're red.
Yeah. I saw them on a show I was watching.
Oh my God, yes. So none of them have started to turn red yet. They're like almost there. And so she can have those because I don't like spicy food.
Just make sure you wash your hands after you touch them.
Max will love
Actually,
them.
I pick peppers with gloves.
Good idea.
I have special gloves. But yes, I've seen people and how like they de-seed them and everything. But she can worry about that.
Well, I actually grew some jalapeno peppers years and years ago, and I went and I actually picked them.
Oh Lord! Did you rub your eyeball?
I did.
Oh!
I didn't even I had just picked up the pepper and picked it off the vine. And I hadn't cut into it. I hadn't nothing.
No, it doesn't matter.
It was enough.
No. Yeah. You know, Joe ate a fresh pepper and then went to the bathroom to pee. Yeah. Yeah, he's a dumb...
Not the story I thought you were going to say.
What? What story did you
I can't tell that story on here.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you guys ever heard of Will Wheaton's story? He was out in the yard. I think he was putting some kind of pesticide that has peppers or something out in the yard. Yeah.
That's actually why I grow a pepper plant in the middle of all my gardens other than my carrots, because the pepper plant itself will keep most bugs away if it's spicy enough. But yeah.
Well, anyway, he went inside and didn't even think anything about it and went and, like, scratched himself under the clothes.
Oh, my God.
In his groin area.
Ooh.
And everything just...
Burned. Yeah.
So he went and took his son's favorite mug out of the cupboard, poured milk into it, and then just dumped his... everything in there.
Self-image.
Yeah. So I think when his son,
I think a good word.
When his son left and like went to college or moved out, they gave him the mug and told him the story.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
That's hilarious. Oh my God. But yes, there's a lot of things that as you garden, you start to learn more and more and more.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. It's just cool because it's like I do my part to give back to the earth, and then I also like I take from it what I sow. Mm-hmm. And I always try to just be responsible and try not to kill the bunnies, even though I want to murder all of them because they're eating all of my carrots.
Brittany is like the epitome of this meme that Cricket shared the other day. He's like, you buy one little succulent, and then you become a green warrior goddess of plants. And I'm just like, I commented, I was like, I bought one little succulent and I killed that bitch. It died on me.
Yeah.
I haven't bought any plants this week. Well done, me. Yes. Thank you. That really was necessary. It really was.
You guys don't even know.
When we went up to the mountains, like, we were up near a waterfall, and Brittany's like, ooh, that's a maidenhair fern. I'm going to take this off of this rock and take it home and grow it.
They're growing very well. So I have 2 little planters now of the ferns, and they're growing very, very well. So, but now they're here now, and they're free.
There you go.
Well, and they're going to have special memories too. That's what I think is really cool.
Because it came from a specific geographical location
and a specific trip. It was our
and
first,
with you guys. So that's the most important.
Oh, did you hear?
Oh,
kitty!
The kitties are here again. The kitties are here again.
He's just sleeping, but he's grunting. He's like,
he's so cute.
So now we have elemental witches.
Ooh.
So we've talked about sea witches before. So elemental ones are witches that work with all 4 elements. Mm-hmm. And they aren't like primarily in one or the other. So it's magic that's worked by honoring and acknowledging the 4 or all 5 elements. Mm-hmm. So the 4 basic are water, earth, air, fire, and then the final one is spirit.
Correct.
And it says, commonly an elementalist will dedicate different areas of their altars to each element and call upon them during spells and rituals and use symbols to represent each.
Yep.
So like that bumper sticker lady that we saw when we were driving up through the mountains, and she had like each 4 on her car in specific spots.
Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch it.
It's
Oh
so
my
good.
God, I will watch it. Calm down. I have too many things to do.
You've got to watch Last Airbender.
They're only 30 minutes.
It's really good.
Only 30 minutes.
And then you get to watch Korra afterward, which is wonderful.
So, I mean, you're not going to watch it, like, overnight, but you could sprinkle some 30 minutes.
The next thing that I'm going to watch is that Agretsuko.
Do it.
Yeah.
Agretsuko is so cute.
Agretsuko. Have you heard of that?
Is that the little, like, Hello Kitty looking thing?
Yes.
Where she sings death metal?
Yes.
In a
Oh my
carrier.
gosh, she's perfect.
Oh my God,
she's a little,
you have no
she's
idea.
a little red panda, and it is made by Sanrio.
Yes.
And it's just...
It's
when
like
she
for
gets-
people that are over 20,
Yeah.
specifically.
Nice. I love when they do that.
Yeah, the Hello Kitty's audience has grown up, so it's like they're growing up their characters.
Yes.
Too. It's really, really cool.
It's very cool.
And I love Agretsuko. It's adorable. So you have to watch that one.
But that's what I'm watching next.
Just make yourself a page in your bullet journal of shows to watch.
But that's a good idea.
If I had time. It's not a problem of, like, planning them. Just where would they go? You know?
I just want you to have a reminder to watch Avatar so hard. Like,
We'll just
I
have
feel
to
you.
text her every day.
I feel you.
did you know Avatar Last Airbender is like 10 out of 10 would watch again?
10 out of 10 would watch again.
I've watched it all the way through at least twice now.
Wow.
It's really good.
You guys are crazy. You have too much time.
It's a good show. I do watch a lot of TV, but I'm working on it, you guys. I'm doing laundry today.
I have TV on while I'm doing other things.
I'm working on that
So-
too.
See,
Make
I
some tea today
I
while
only
I watch
have-
TV.
I only have
Like-
one TV
like
upstairs.
Yeah.
I only have one TV upstairs, and it's in the guest room.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have one TV downstairs. So if I could watch it on my computer, because I cared enough, excuse me, then I would watch it. But it's just like I walk around too
I
much.
mean, just before you die. Hopefully before we turn 40.
Yeah, when I go on like vacation or something, I'll be like, okay, that'll be the thing that I watch.
Yeah.
Like if I go, how long do you think Avatar: The Last Airbender is? How long in hours? Because if I go to New Zealand, it's like a 26-hour flight. I could watch that.
I don't even know how many episodes are in each season, to be completely honest. We could look it up on the internet right now, but
We could. You're right.
that is very off topic.
No, well, no, because they're elemental.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Well, specifically, okay, so we'll just go over the elements specifically. Yeah. So if you're primarily a water witch, so elemental witches use all 4, and they typically honor all 4 on their altars.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's specifically water witches. They are centered on the element of water. They do water scrying. They collect a lot of sea, storm, snow, river, spring water. They do a lot of swimming or bath spells, bath rituals, and other water-related activities, creating and using symbols associated with water.
Mm-hmm.
So I would assume, like, if they wanted to do some sort... What? Don't be angry. Calm down. Don't try. But, like, I assume maybe those are the type of people that charge their water with crystals, or maybe write sigils in the water with their fingers, different things like that.
Yeah, and then one of my favorite really simple spells that I've seen is comes from a book called Spells for Tough Times. I can't remember the author's name, but she has several spells where they're specifically formulated to be very easy and not cost a lot of energy or time. So anytime you go and you take a shower, it's a visualization sort of thing, and she'll give you a little mantra to say that's no more than like 5 lines.
Oh, cool.
So it's like specifically like cleansing your energy and charging your energy for whatever it is that you need.
And you're being bathed in the water, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're cleansing and you're cleansing.
Yeah.
And then we have earth. So specifically centered on the element of earth, there's a lot of grounding exercises, rock or soil collecting, strong appreciation of the natural world, and they create and use symbols associated with earth. And then we have air, so working with wind, using air-related tools such as a wand, creating and using symbols associated with air. And then finally, we have fire. I feel like your husband will be a fire witch.
Probably.
He fucking loves bonfires.
That would be approximately how many hours?
Approximately?
Yeah.
That's a lot of hours.
Holy shit. I don't have that time.
Did you do like 1 hour per episode or 30 minutes?
Oh, you know what? I did an hour per episode.
So it's 900.
Yeah.
That's a lot of episodes.
That's a lot of
time. I ain't got that kind of time. That'd be like 4 vacations.
Maybe I did my math wrong.
You can also watch the Nostalgia Critic. He did, he watched each episode and covered it.
Yeah.
And they'd be a lot smaller if you wanted to get the grasp of it without watching it to see if it's something you would really be interested in.
I mean,
But there are some episodes you just need to watch.
Yeah. It's also something nice that I would be...
anything that has to do with Katara. Because Katara's amazing.
We'll have to see. Maybe when Joe and I have run out of shows. Maybe when nothing is on TV. So I was saying your husband would be a fire witch because it's
real life fire
centered on the element of fire. So candles, bonfires, burning objects because he's a pyromaniac. Creating and using symbols associated with fire. So I definitely feel like,
yeah, he very much has like the Burning Man spirit.
Yes. Oh my God! I forgot he wants to go to Burning Man. I bet that's like a fire witch's dream.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
I'm definitely a little bit of a fire witch myself. Kind of a little bit fire, a little
That's
bit water.
because you're Aries.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
let's just get it straight. It's just because you're an Aries.
But definitely, I've done like the fire, like scrying, where you actually use the flame of a candle to scry.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that before.
Like the red woman in fucking Game of Thrones. She is a fire witch. Like she's called the red woman, but she's a fire witch.
But I've done that. I've done a lot of like banishing spells or something where you can write whatever it is that you're trying to get rid of or whatever it is that you want to bring in, depending on how you write it. And what you write it on. Mm-hmm. And you can actually burn it in a fireproof bowl.
Oh, kind of like a petition.
Which is very Burning Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually have temples and stuff to do that at.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really.
I want to go.
It's very spiritual. It's not just like a big party. It's very, very spiritual.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are some people that go there kind of thinking it's going to be like a Coachella type thing, but
it's very much
it's
not.
Like it's pretty opposite. But it's not mainstream. You know, it's very, very pagan, I would say.
Cool.
There's actually a guy on an episode of Queer Eye. I think
we watched it. We watched it. Max was like, I was watching it. I watched all of them now.
Yeah.
And he was like, I want to watch the one about the Burning Man.
Yes!
Dude. And it was really good.
It was really, really good.
They actually, in the episode, he's wanting to move to, where's Burning Man at? It's, he's wanting to move to the place in, near...
He wants to be a little bit closer to it.
Yeah, I can't remember the place.
Oh, does he go all the time?
Does he?
Well, I mean, they're preparing and stuff kind of goes on a lot.
I think he was talking about moving to Nevada.
This isn't in Nevada, but there's actually a town. I just can't remember the name of it right now. But he was talking about moving there, and they were doing a going away party, and he was realizing how many people loved him, like to stay where he was at, rather than moving there just to be close to something that basically happens for a week out of the year.
Yeah.
And
what are you gonna do for the other 51 weeks?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And, but part of the ceremony was and if you've ever watched Queer Eye, you know the big part they talk about like bettering yourself too. It's not just a makeover show. And the guy that's over culture, he was like, he gave him a set of cards like, I want you to write out things you want to let go of, and they burn it at his going away thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
It was really
It was
cool.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
That's actually a thing. That's so weird. There's actually a thing in a Christian book where it's about letting go, and they tell you to burn it.
There's like Christianity has borrowed a lot of shit from stuff they don't realize is pagan.
Yeah, so it's like it's a book about bitterness and like how much bitterness can affect you and how much you don't realize, like you like everything in your mind that you're bitter about, if you think on it for a really long time, you get more and more bitter. And so that's like an indication that you've never really gotten past it and let go. And so they say for you to write all your things down on different individual pieces of paper and then meditate on it and like really, really realize no matter what you do, it's not going to affect that unless, you know what I mean? Like, it's in the past. If it's not something you can rectify, like a relationship, you have to let it go. And then they say, you know, think about it, really realize you can't change that, and then burn it.
Yeah. It's a beautiful physical representation of doing that within yourself. To really let go. Yeah. And I think that definitely helps a lot of people to be able to, like, feel and see it, like, do it and manifest it in themselves. Be like, oh, I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Hashtag Wendy says it's a beautiful thing. Half the times.
That's a nice thing, though.
Yeah, it is a good thing.
So, then, okay, so I have something interesting to say about this. There's floral witches, so going past elementals. Much like a green or garden witch, those who work majorly with floral materials and flowers in their practice and in their spell work. Their grimoire may be heavily associated with flowers rather than herbs, and likewise, one might use flower properties in spell or craft work.
Yeah.
So even though I love plants, I fucking dislike flowers.
I've noticed.
Yeah.
It's not your thing.
You notice?
You don't have flowering plants.
I had a miniature rose. A rose bush. It's fucking dead. So it's dead to me. Fuck flowers. They're bullshit. I don't even like people buying them for me because they die. Joe has bought me 2 bouquets in like the last 3 weeks. Thank you. I appreciate you buying me flowers. You could buy me plants instead and they would last longer. But I just don't care for flowers. I don't know.
It's so funny because I find myself using a lot of flowers and stuff in my practice.
I love wearing fake flowers.
Yeah.
Love that shit.
And it's like I have like even fake flowers and stuff all over my house.
See, I don't actually like fake flowers. They look nice in other people's homes. I just wouldn't put them there. I wouldn't put them in my own home. I don't know. It's just, for me, it's...
Before I made this bouquet, I was like very anti them. Yeah. But because I can't keep anything alive,
I feel you.
I'm like, this is real nice.
Yeah. Like, cut flowers, they die. And it's like, anything that's flowering, it's like, it's not going to be in bloom forever. It's like, I can't manage to keep it in bloom forever. So, like, the silk thing works better for me. Because it's cheaper.
Yeah. Because you can't keep buying plants and then watching them die. It also would hurt my soul to...
I just feel like I let something down again.
Yeah.
It's just a plant. It's not like your cats. Cats aren't let down.
I have a lot more luck with plants that don't flower. And anything that's not a fern.
See, the thing is like, it's so crazy, because most of my herbs do flower. Like, my pineapple sage has beautiful red flowers on it. It just got them. Because I had taken cuttings from like my original pineapple sage and then moved them over into a different thing. And so that's actually highly attractive to hummingbirds. So now I have hummingbirds coming to my balcony. So it's really pretty. But like, I don't have a problem with those. It's just like ones that have no purpose. Like, the only thing that I think I would be interested in growing organically would be orchids. And that's literally just so I could put them in my cocktails and they look pretty. Like just having like a floating orchid like in your cocktail, that's dope. But like anything
super
else...
bougie.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I could be super bouge. And that would be my superhero name. I'd be Super Bouge. I'd be Super Bouge. But yeah, so like that's literally the only thing I can think of. Like, oh, what would I use flowers for? And that's it. Just to put in things that I could eat.
But see, with a lot of the floral witchcraft, there are specific uses for certain flowers. I've done a love spell before that's kind of sort of based on... have you guys ever seen Practical Magic?
Yes.
At
yes.
The beginning,
where my God, you've never seen Practical Magic?
Oh
my God, it's
fix that.
Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock.
While they're both like in their prime and just like stunningly, effortlessly beautiful, it's not fair.
They're so nice.
Nicole Kidman's hair in that movie is just the
epitome
of everything I've
it's
ever wanted.
So amazing. So amazing.
But there's a scene in the beginning where she's a child and she's actually going into like this greenhouse at her grandmother's or her aunt's place, and she's taking little white flowers and putting them together, and she's...
That's right!
Yeah. So I've sort of done something that's sort of based on that loosely, but not quite, for myself as like a love spell. So...
And I've, like, on like, Instagram and Pinterest and stuff, I've seen a lot of, like, ritual baths with, like, flowers they have floating, or, like, rose petals in your bath and stuff. So I definitely see it could be a thing.
And you could even dry them and use them in incense, or even like the sage bundles that you were making. I've seen some where they're like super blinged out.
Oh,
they're gorgeous.
I was gonna mention the hand-rolled incense that I bought for Joe. Oh my God, they last like an hour.
Do they really?
One of them lasts like an hour. It's so crazy.
Let's see if I can find
They're
them
amazing. Or just make our own, because holy crap, if I could do that, whoo, I would, oh my God, all the time. So the next one is city witches.
Yeah.
Or I guess there's another word for it. Urban primitive? I don't know.
I have no idea what this is.
It's so, for those who live or prefer this urban or city lifestyle, magic that can be worked without the seemingly traditional ways of witchcraft. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, other than like tech witches, I guess maybe, I mean, because I brew my tea in a very modern way, but it's just all automated.
Yeah. I guess maybe it's more like, where people just don't prefer to practice with nature elements as much, where it's
basically we're seeing the natural elements within like the city lifestyle. So instead of for animal guidance and things like that, you'd be looking more for rats and pigeons, and it's basically geared very much towards people who live in bigger cities like Chicago, New York. That sort of a thing where they're not, it takes a while for them to like go out of the city. And, there are some New Yorkers who brag about, I've never left New York, so.
Which is terrible because it's not great. Don't go to New York City. I mean, if you've never gone, I guess you can go, but it's like, it smells like garbage. There's a lot of homeless people there.
Yeah.
The food is great, but.
The food is really good.
It's very good, but like also Asheville's food is very good. So it's not like I can't get that anywhere else. I don't know.
I could definitely see the appeal. Like, I'm feeling more of a calling towards, like, nature and stuff. But I'm very much more drawn towards comforts of home rather than
that would be more
outside.
Like a hearth, kitchen, cottage witch sort of thing.
Yeah, because even your home in the middle of the woods could have things. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to not be uncomfortable. Yes, that's yes. I can
create an entire like subset of new witchcraft that's called like
Comfy.
Suburb Witch.
Oh, Suburb Witch. Yes, there you go. That's exactly right. So then we have fairy or Fae witches. It is magic for those who communicate and work with the Fae during spells and rituals. Usually, those who work with the Fae may also leave offerings regularly as thanks for the assistance of a fairy in their spell work.
As thanks for.
Or like the price that you pay, because if you don't pay up, you're going to get fucked.
Yeah.
They're going to fuck you up.
Oh, yeah.
Fairies are scary.
They really are, especially when you go into more of like the Scottish Highlands and Ireland and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Have
you seen American Gods?
No, but I've read the book.
Oh, my God.
So
in American... Have you seen American Gods? Oh, so, yes. It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Leprechauns and fairies aren't things to fuck with.
No.
I'll tell you that.
No.
They will literally find any way. They are like tricksters. They're like trickster gods. They literally just want to... They'll do the thing that you ask them. But, they're going to do it like in the... Not just the most roundabout way, but they're going to try and find a way to fuck you. And be like, look at this loophole we found. Yeah. Oh, you really enjoyed the love of your life, but he's deaf. Or some shit like that, you know?
If you've ever heard about, like, genies or the djinn.
Yes.
Like, it's very much like that, where it's like, they give you what you wish for, but in a way that you wouldn't want it.
Yeah.
Like that terrible episode of Goosebumps.
I don't know what you're talking about, but sure.
There's another episode
the listeners know.
I just watched of The X-Files, where they actually talk about that, where they talk about the djinn, which was really, really cool. And it's very much that, where it's like, you get 3 wishes, but they don't always happen in the way you want them to.
Right. Oh my God, there was a really old 90s movie that has, like, the devil. And, oh my God, I want to say it's Charlize Theron, but I don't know what it is. But Brendan Fraser is the main character in it.
Okay.
And he...
I know there's Witches of Eastwick,
I know what you're talking about.
Cher,
you know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember the name.
And Jack Nicholson.
A lot.
Oh.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Filmography. It is... Oh my God, it's such a funny movie.
Like, even if you wanted to talk about, like, here, like specifically in North America, we do have our own types of fairies, like puck wedgies or brownies would be considered sort of local fairy
Oh,
lore.
yes, brownies! Yeah. Oh my gosh, also from Harry Potter.
Yeah, so either of those are kind of like something where you can kind of look at it as good and bad.
Right.
So if you help them out, they'll help you out. The brownies come in and they clean up your house at night and they help you out.
Right.
If you don't help them out and you're disrespectful to them, they'll take all your shit.
Yeah. You wake up with nothing.
Puck wedgies will leave you alone if you're kind and respectful to them. If you don't, they will come in and tear you up because they have very long nails. So they'll literally scratch you to pieces.
Yeah.
So
the thing that I was talking about is it's not Charlize Theron. It's Elizabeth Hurley. Mm-hmm. And it is called Bedazzled.
I thought it was Bedazzled, but I didn't want to be wrong.
It's Bedazzled.
I've never watched it. It's just when I was at my grandparents' house a lot. It was like coming on cable, like.
And the plot is pretty much like, okay, it's like a legitimate, like, 90s ridiculous retelling of a fucking thing. The devil runs a computer simulation to analyze souls to determine individual weaknesses to exploit.
Oh my god.
So, essentially, Brendan Fraser gets picked by this woman, and the devil, in the form of a beautiful woman, offers to give Elliot 7 wishes in exchange for his soul.
Oh.
So, he, she takes him to McDonald's because he wishes for a Big Mac and Coke, but he has to pay for it because there ain't no such thing as a free lunch. So,
nice.
The moral of the story is there ain't no such thing as a free lunch.
That's
so
amazing.
He goes through, like, several of his wishes, and then his final wish ends up being something else. But, like, it's so funny. It's funny, but also not funny. Because he wishes to be with this woman, and so she does it. Elizabeth Hurley's character, the devil, does it. And so he wishes exactly how he should, and he fucks one thing up, and then everything happens, and he's not sexually attracted to her anymore because he's gay.
No!
So she wants him, and everything's perfect, and he's got a great job, and he's got everything that he ever wants, but he is gay. Aww. So he doesn't want her anymore.
Aww.
So, but it's just like that shit. I never even thought of that shit.
Yeah.
It's craziness. Ooh. That's cool. So, it's a lot like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? The Fae aren't nothing to fuck with.
Yeah. Like, there are certain places when you go up to, like, Ireland, Scotland, those sorts of areas where they say, oh, no, we don't go over there. We literally, like, will not go up to that place because it's a fairies place.
Yeah.
Like, they will literally divert roads and not build houses on places because that's the fairy space and this is our space.
Yeah.
Like, even in our modern society, people will tell you, no, I don't believe in that. But they won't go fuck with it.
Yeah, no. They won't go fuck with it. So the next one is spirit working, which sounds fucking terrifying because I do believe in this shit. It's a practice in which the person will perform spell work in conjunction with or with the help of any manner of spirit. First off, why the fuck would you do that? Secondly, it says this includes Ouija, sometimes demon spirits, and spiritual contacts. What the fuck? Bitches, you're trying to die early. You're just trying to go to the grave. You summon in the grave, you're gonna go into it. That's fucking terrifying.
So this is something that I do.
You're a terrible person. You just want some demons up in there?
You know, I don't really work
Ghosts
with demons
don't count because I don't believe in ghosts.
I don't work with demons. They're not really my thing, but it's also
they're not really your thing. I don't think they're anyone's thing, Cricket.
There are some people. There are some people. Yeah, and it's like
Brittany, everyone's not like you.
Wendy, demons are here to fuck up your life. They're not here for anything good. I can understand the allure of, like, power. Oh, I'd love to have power. But, like, I'm not gonna fuck with a demon. He wants to, like, sleep with me while I'm sleeping and then take over my... You know what I imagine demons are like?
Rapist, obviously.
Yes. Yes. 110% yes. But have you ever watched Gravity Falls?
No.
Oh, yes. Bill Cipher. That's a demon. Bill Cipher Cipher is a demon. He's a demon. He wants to fuck you over, and he's a demon, and he wants you to shake his hand so that he can get into your brain while you're sleeping, and he's a demon. He's a demon. Wendy, you need to watch that show, and then you'll meet Bill Cipher and be like, he's a demon.
I love how I really want you to watch Avatar, but literally everything you've asked me if I've watched it, I've been like, no. It's been 4 things, you guys. I've been keeping count.
Bill Cipher is a demon. There's only 2 seasons of Gravity Falls, and it's done.
I know what it is. I've
It's
never gotten
super
into
good.
it.
But
Super, super good.
oh my god.
But yeah, I don't really work
He's
with...
a demon. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
He's a demon.
But I definitely work with a lot of spirits, and that's something
that's less spooky.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just
like even if that means like
demons.
working and communing with the spirits of the land or spirits in a house.
Yeah.
Like I have lived in so many places that have been haunted at this point, and I've literally had an old lady tell me like they're drawn to you because they know you can sense them.
Yeah.
So freaking creepy old lady in St. Augustine. I don't know.
Ooh, in St. Augustine?
Yes.
Bitch, that's the oldest man-made fort in America. Did you
Never
know
been
that?
there. I did. I want to go because I learned about it in
beautiful.
school.
I've been
I was
there.
Like, I'm
That
gonna
was
do
the
it.
first. There's a shop there. I can't remember what it's called now, but there's a witch shop there right in like the touristy area of downtown. That was my first.
I've
witch
probably
shop.
walked past it.
That's my first witch shop that I've ever been in. It was fun. I
It's-
had the card for like years.
It's a very, very cool place.
It's a gorgeous. Gorgeous
oh
place.
yeah, it's also gorgeous. I went there for my honeymoon.
So would this type of witch be like kind of when you're communing with like ancestral type spirits too?
I would agree. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
like,
that's less spooky.
Yeah,
Demons, spooky.
because like I definitely
I
feel
think demons get a bad rap.
Oh, do you think so?
I
Cricket.
do. I do.
Cricket, are you an
Because
advocate? Are you the devil's
lot of the
advocate?
guys-
Would you say?
I think of a lot of the things that we've been told are quote unquote demons.
I was waiting for you
like
to say that.
the goddesses, like Lilith, Hecate,
Lilith is not a demon.
but she is.
But no, people have made her to be out a demon. I'm talking about.
So-
I'm not talking
so-
about like.
so what she's trying.
ladies.
Let Cricket talk.
Okay, all right. Continue talking about
so
Lilith.
let's just say that the other ones haven't been given a bad rap. Now, I'm not saying, because nothing is ever black and white, I'm not saying all demons are good. I'm sure there are some out there that have earned the title of demon. But
yes.
I would agree that there are some out there that have been considered quote unquote demons and have been demonized, literally, because of the nature of who they are. Like Lilith, who is this embodiment of I am a woman and I'm not going to be treated as lesser than.
No, I agree.
You know, and Hecate, who's very misunderstood, and even, sort of people fear her because of the things that she knows. It's this sort of fear of this power, of what she can do with herbs, of what she can do because she speaks to the dead, those sorts of things. So I would venture a guess to say that not all demons are going to be your typical, like, I'm going to rape you and murder you in your sleep.
Well, I would just like to say, in being the advocate of the anti-devil, I don't know what the opposite of a devil's advocate is, but I would say that Lilith is the angels, whatever. I would say that Lilith is the exception, but the rule is that most demons are like awful things.
But we don't know.
You're absolutely correct. It's just that when you read in the Bible, and I'm literally just using like the Bible as the example, like most people that have horrible like these humans that are afflicted with actual demonic possession, they're always terrible shit's happening to them. Like the demons are wrecking their bodies. And so I don't necessarily think, I would say any spirit that's trying to take hold of a person, be it an actual ghost or a demon or anything like that, is not a good spirit in general.
I've had some spirits that have sort of attached onto me and have had a very parasitic relationship with me before that I've had to go in and just like remove because it was making me feel sick.
Yeah.
But I think it was more that they were afraid because they didn't really understand what was happening to them.
Right.
So they latched onto the closest thing that they could that reminded them of themselves in order to sort of feel alive again because they were scared. And it was one of those things where it was like I had to go in and sort of say, hey, you can't do that. You got to go back to where you came from. So I've had that happen a couple of times now, and it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't think they're necessarily bad. I think that they're just scared. And I think a lot of times when, something that is conscious is scared, they're going to react in a way that is not necessarily positive.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah. It's just in Ghost Adventures, every time Zach Bagans, he gets possessed sometimes and then he gets angry and I'm like...
Not that this could be dramatized at all.
No, not at all.
I agree with you. Think they fake that shit? That's an absolute... Oh my god.
Girl.
That shit is hilarious and I would be embarrassed if that was real.
You know
like
what's
if
hilarious?
I consciously did that, I'd be
what's
embarrassed.
hilarious? Ghost Brothers.
Ghost Brothers! Oh
Ghost
my
Brothers
god.
are my
I showed
fucking
Wendy
favorite.
Ghost Brothers.
She did show me Ghost Brothers.
They're my
It was
favorite.
pretty great.
They're wonderful.
So, anyways, spirit working witches, I pray for you. Because
Thank
that shit's
you.
scary.
Thank
That
you.
shit's scary,
It's
man.
very scary sometimes.
It's scary.
It's very scary sometimes. But it's also a way to make sense of the things that are scary that are happening to you.
Right.
So,
I get that.
yeah.
So then there's Draconian.
Dragon.
Wendy, yes, dragon witches. This refers to a type of magic for those who call upon or work with dragons and dragon imagery in their practice, whether it be through astral matters or in spells and rituals.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
A lot of people, there's some invoking of the four corners or the elements that I've seen that are specifically draconian based.
Oh.
So that's really, really cool.
There was a dragon in St. Albans that someone had painted on the wall.
Yeah. It was really cool.
It was neat.
It was one of the patients, and they actually brought him back and like, showed it to her.
Yeah. So he's not crazy. He's fine. I don't
That's
know why he's
good.
there.
That's a success story. Yeah.
And then there's seasonal witches, which are different from the elemental ones. They're the ones who utilize and draw energy from specific times, like the equinox.
Yeah.
In the holidays, would they be probably?
Yes, it
Yes.
could be.
So,
Yes.
Probably really into that because they're very
typical-
centered around seasons.
Yeah. So
Sometimes they can be really have a really strong connection to a specific season, or they can just have a love for all seasons and like the
me,
changing.
I'm a fall witch.
You a fall witch?
I'm a fall witch.
I would
You base.
just be a.
I'm so basic. I'm so
Basic witch.
I brought a scarf with me today. I was like, I'm wearing spring, but I want fall to come. That was my intention. I was like, let fall come, please. It's very hot.
Well,
We won't get fall until
it's-
well into
I saw a meme today that said it's August, which means it's autumn. It was one of those.
You say that we're not going to have fall until October. I promise you, the week of my birthday, chills.
Really?
That's all it'll be. You'll literally smell fall, and you'll be like, "Oh, I wonder what day it is." It's my fucking birthday. It's my birthday because I have not, in the 29 years of my life, had a pool party for my birthday. That's
You know
not
what
possible.
I wanted to do for my birthday? You want to go camping at Hidden Night. You know what I'd really like to do? I would like to go to Salem.
That would be cool.
Yes.
That would be
But
really
it's going to
cool.
be so cold, you guys. My birthday's
Honestly,
in December.
it wouldn't be that cold.
No, in
it wouldn't be.
Massachusetts.
No.
And it won't be super.
Remember
super
when you went to
crowded
New
and busy.
what time did you go to New York? What time of the year did you go
When
to
I
New York
went,
City?
it was in December.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. It's really not until the end of December that it gets ridiculous. Yeah. It's January and February that are.
I've
really
been to Salem. Fun story. I went to Salem with my church.
Did you?
My
really?
very
just to
Baptist
see
Christian
the Salem witch trials. Ooh, God.
Yeah, and then I got real excited. And this was before, obviously, I knew anything that I was a witch or anything like that. And I was, like, really excited to be there. And I felt the energy and I had a t-shirt for a long time. And everyone else was, like, real uneasy about being there. And they're like, we have to go. They were basically wanting to go street preach in Salem. But that's bullshit. But,
That's so weird.
yeah, it's real. There's a lot of aspects. Not to bash on other people's religion or Christianity.
Joe's
but
mom wanted to take me to this one place, and she was like, "They have reenactments of the Salem witch trials," and I was like, "Ugh, that's not something I want to fucking see. I don't want to see people being sentenced to death. No, thank you. That's not my idea of fun. Oh, let's go see someone be
but
sentenced."
No, it was kind of like that aspect of like going to see like what God hath wrought, the goodness that is no
But
longer.
it was
thing.
just dumb bitches.
But it was like I remember being there and like wanting to go in the shops and stuff, and my mom was abusive, but anyway, and she was like making me feel like a terrible person for wanting to like be there, and I was like, why is everyone being so weird?
I'm like
Yeah.
mapping out an itinerary in my head right now of all the places in Salem that I want to go.
Oh my god, yeah.
I just think
I'd
it'd
be
really,
down. I'd be down
do
to
it.
like drive
Like
up
I
there.
have specific like shops and things that I follow on Instagram, like House Witch, and there's the Salem Witch Museum. There's a specific cemetery up there that is absolutely gorgeous that I really want to go see.
That would
Just
be cool.
like there's lots of really, really cool things up there. Like I want to go.
I want to go. I'd be down to do that.
Yeah.
I'd be down for a road trip.
Though.
I don't want to go in the fall. It's my birthday. You know where I want to go? Hidden Night. Hidden Night.
Let's go to Hidden Night.
Let's do it.
Instead, we're going to go in winter at Wendy's birthday when nothing is nice outside.
It's not winter until December 21st, I'll have you know. Don't be encroaching
Bitch
on my
is still
basic
cold.
bitch life of fall. All right? It's not. Halloween is important. Don't be trying to bring a Christmas shit up in here. Bitches and Michaels are already pushing the Halloween stuff to the back to make way for Christmas. Yes.
No.
Yes.
I haven't even been up there.
And I was like,
I don't have any money.
I know.
I don't even go to buy things. I was very upset. I was like, why? Christmas is not even my birthday yet.
No.
It's not even my birthday.
I thought it was real. I thought they were putting it out like ridiculously early. I was like, damn, and I got real excited. But yeah, and then
You're just
Christmas.
getting things ready.
I think it's because they have to have that balance between
Christian people and everyone else.
Yes.
So next is embroidery, sewing, knitting, and crocheting. One who imbues magic into household stitching or string hobbies, such as the things that I mentioned. Also knotting,
Like
and
cord
stringing.
spells.
Yeah. Basically, one who identifies with using knot or cord magic and many different skills.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. That's really neat.
So I've done this before when I do like macrame or even like the little like friendship bracelets that you used to make at camp.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use that and I'll use specific colors and like pick out the number of knots and things like
nice.
that. Yeah.
Aw.
So I do something
That's
like
cute.
that. And again, my friend who does all of the knitting and things like that, she spins her own yarn and everything.
Yeah.
So
That's really cool.
yeah.
The next is paper, which we talked about. It's magic that's worked essentially with paper. Burning paper with sigils, chants, symbols, spells, creating magical offerings, items, or satchels from paper.
Mm-hmm. You could even create your own paper as well and imbue it with all kinds of flowers and herbs and things.
I have seen people, oh my god, there was this one woman, this is actually related to art, that has nothing to do with witch stuff, but there was this woman that made her own dresses out of paper.
Ooh.
And so she actually made like corset forms, and she had like 30 of them, and they were all lined up in lines, and it reminded me of the terracotta army. They're like very
Cool.
womanly
Yeah.
and awesome, and it was all made out of paper. It was really cool.
That's awesome.
It was very, very neat. So next is music. Magic that has worked with
Bards.
music, musical yes, bards! Musical chimes or rhythm. Humming, singing, clapping, singing chants during spells, playing instruments, even simple ones like the triangle or bells, or even simply playing music during spell work, like just playing it off on a computer or whatever.
Yeah.
Or during energy exercises are a few common things a music witch might fancy.
Yeah. Cool.
That's pretty
So,
cool.
with me doing a lot of like the liminal work and stuff that I do,
Mhm.
I'll actually use certain songs and certain musics, especially anything that has like a really building like drum or something that'll get faster, the tempo will get faster to sort of put me into another headspace.
Right.
So it's almost like a version of like journeying or traveling.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely do that.
There's actually on YouTube, you can look them up, and they have different like soundtracks for different chakras.
Ooh, yeah.
And then they also have them for astral projection as well.
Mhm.
And so it's just like different beats per minute. And they're very, very simple. It's not like distracting. Because I feel like sometimes songs with lyrics can be a little distracting. Especially
Unless
when
it's
I'm
something
working.
I know really well.
Yes,
Yeah.
unless it's like something that you've listened to like over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought those were really interesting.
Yeah.
I saw them and I was like, oh, they come up a lot when I'm like doing my ASMR stuff.
Yeah.
When I'm like
Is it
searching.
the binaural beats?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So each
Pretty
chakra will vibrate at a different frequency.
Mhm.
So they'll actually use specific frequencies to bring the chakras back into balance.
That's cool. I listened to a chakra balancing while you sleep thing last night. I don't remember what it sounded like because I fell asleep.
Mhm.
But
That's good.
It was all music, and I thought most of the guided meditations that I've been using are words and stuff, and I was like, well, this is different, but I fell asleep.
There you
It's
go.
like really
Yeah.
fast. It was pretty bomb.
It's very bomb. ASMR is so bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it so much. The guided meditations are also really, really nice.
Yeah, I really like the guided meditations, and even if you fall asleep during them, you're still getting it like subconsciously, and it's still working through you.
Yeah.
I really like, what's his name? Jason Stevenson or Michael Stevenson, one of those. He's really, really good. I like his voice.
I only listen to ladies. I don't listen to any guys. There's one guy that I've listened to some of his ASMR videos, but he looks like Thor. He looks like Chris Hemsworth.
Ooh, yeah, you'll have to send me a link to that.
Yeah, I will. I'll do that for you. But yeah, I just listen to him to like relax, but I will not fall asleep because it's too deep. It's too anything that's too much bass. I'm like,
and see, the bass helps me relax.
It helps me relax too. Sometimes with a higher pitched voice, like I have listened to this lady in my guided meditations I've been doing, and sometimes it's just harder for me to fall asleep. Yeah, I think because I'm wanting to listen more. To be completely honest.
Yeah, that makes sense. For me, I can't listen to someone that's really young and has a really high pitch. Yeah. So there's like a couple that I really like to listen to. Whispers Red. She has a lovely British accent, and her voice is like at the same register as mine. Yeah. So when she talks, it's like very much. It's kind of bassy, but it's not like too high. Anything that's too alto. Yes, exactly. So there's her. She has a lot of guided meditations. There's GB ASMR. She does a lot of guided meditations too. There's a girl on there. Oh my God, I forget her name. She has like a Reiki session she does on there. Ooh. Yeah, it's really interesting. It's really, really interesting. She does like her hand motions that she normally does, but then she also like chants while she's doing it. It's very, very calming.
You'll have to send me links to that because I'm very interested in Reiki because I've taken a couple of Reiki classes.
It's so cool. So then we have chaos or chaotic witches. They are a type of magic utilizing new...
Sorry guys, my cat just booped me.
Oh. A new, non-traditional, unorthodox method. It is new and highly individualized while still drawing from other common forms of magic. So I actually looked further into this because someone asked me if I could teach. They were like, can you teach me to be a chaos witch? And I was like, that's not my jurisdiction. Please, no. So, chaos witches relish in being able to pick up different witchcrafts for just one use, just for what they need it, and then abandon it. And that's where the chaos comes from. It's the randomness that they find between each witchcraft. So it's really interesting. It's like jack of all trades sort of thing.
Since you told me about that the first time, I was like, I feel like I might be a mix between eclectic and chaotic. Yeah. Like, certain things I'll find I hold on to, but with how much I like to experiment with things, I can definitely see where it'd be both.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. And I think everybody goes through a period, especially when they're, starting on the path. Yeah, when they try a lot of things.
Everyone's a chaos witch.
I definitely am. I still very much, like, go all between, like, everything. Yeah. So...
the next one is animal.
I think also that probably really goes for my Sagittarius side too, because if it doesn't work for me, I'm fucking leaving.
Do you remember your star chart speech?
I remember I was real Sagittarius.
Oh.
You were very, very Sagittarius.
You're also very Scorpio. Congratulations. You're clapping for yourself.
Heck Scorpio. Yes, if I'm not going to clap for me, who else is going to? I mean, you clap for me, but if I can't clap for myself.
No, I feel you. I see you're appreciating yourself.
Yeah. Okay. No, but definitely before we did my star chart, which if you followed us in other forums besides just our podcast, I'm sure you'll see some of our very drunken star charts.
Oh, yes.
Before I did, I was like, I definitely feel like I'm very Sagittarius because your boy here was born 2 months early. It was like, you're going to be a Sagittarius.
You're going to be one.
This is you, girl. Because if not, I would have been born in February, which is Pisces, which... Maybe I have some elements of that, but I'm very Sagittarius.
I can see elements of Pisces, but Laura is Pisces. Yeah. She's more quiet than you are.'s less extra. She's still extra, but she's less extra.
That's fire signs. You gotta stick together.
So the next one is.
Sorry, hello, Cricket. I'm not trying to remove your clothing.
We have animal witches. They are magic that is strongly tied to the animal kingdom. It includes a deep appreciation for all animals, and most often they use animal materials in their spell work, a lot like furs, bones, different things like that.
Teeth. Yeah.
An animal witch will most likely be one who loves animals, a person who is immediately drawn to them, and those who appreciate the natural world. So they use bones, wings, feather, fur, skin, scales from deceased animals in their magic, if they choose to do so.
Not even just deceased, sometimes even living animals where it's just
Where it's like the shed or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see.
Here, have some black cat hair.
That's for hexing people.
Or good luck.
Oh,
especially in gambling.
There you go.
I don't gamble, but thank you.
Buy a lottery ticket.
So the next one, which is one that kind of spooked me.
And on the animal witch thing, a lot of times someone who reveres animals, they'll often revere animal sightings as messengers as well.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like the animal spirits will mean certain things. There's actually a really great book.
So people that are animal witches would probably most likely have like a familiar and maybe like a spiritual animal guide.
Yes.
Okay.
And then not only that, but it's like anytime that I'm feeling like really bogged down or really like sort of lost, I will, when I'm least expecting it, see a fox. And that's sort of that like guide.
Foxes.
Because they've sort of been present all throughout my life.
Dogs.
Cat dogs they are.
So like I'll see a fox and it's like that sort of thing where it's like, trust your intuition, you got this, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's a really great book that I can't remember the name of. I'll have to send it to you. That actually talks a lot about animal messages and like omens and things like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So then we have, this is the one that creeped me out a little bit.
Okay.
But, I mean, I get it, but also it's weird. Sanguine witches, meaning blood or blood red color, is a type of magic that deals with blood or other life-giving fluid. Lifeblood can also be represented through things such as water or nutrients.
Wine.
Or what?
Wine.
They didn't put wine in here, but I know
that's
what they
a
meant.
common one. Yeah.
A term for those who work with blood and life-oriented magic. The only thing that I can think of, which is in my brain weird, I don't like shame people for doing it, but like eating a placenta or burying a placenta.
I mean, yeah.
It's a little creepy.
Would
you eat a placenta, Wendy? Yeah, no, your face, no. Would you eat your own placenta? Isn't that disgusting to ask you?
It's not disgusting. I feel like it's a very cultural thing that lots of people do that have some beliefs, and I believe that like when you believe in something, it manifests energy inside of you.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I've never really thought into that. I lean more towards no, definitely, but I could definitely see how that could be beneficial to people who
I get you.
believe that.
The only thing I want to say is, as a person that was going to be a doctor, please be safe and sanitary when you do shit like this, because like I don't want you to like get mixed in with people and they're not honest with you, and then you end up getting some horrible disease, or you have terrible things happen, and like, or maybe you and another person are opposite blood fucking types and like some shit goes down, because that can happen.
Yeah. Just be really careful and make sure that, if you are, whatever tools you are using to either collect or to let blood, make sure they are sterilized, make sure you're not reusing anything.
That's not sterilized.
Yeah. So
make sure you have a material that's easily sterilized.
Yes.
Yep.
I was at Gabby's shop one night, and it was one of her classes, and that we actually had somebody who was certified in phlebotomy.
Yeah.
And Gabby actually did a really interesting like love ritual with her and her partner. She each got she got this person to actually like draw blood from her, just like you would when you like go to a doctor's office. And she actually used the blood in like a love spell that was supposed to like put them together, and so that was really cool. Period blood is also really good. It's easy to collect, especially if you have like the Diva cup or like a tampon or anything like that.
The Golden Dawn, the New Dawn, whatever the Aleister Crowley's people were called, the Golden Dawn. They used to make moon cookies, and those have period blood in them, and then they eat them. which is very weird. That's where the placenta...
I'm not drawn to this type of witchcraft.
Yeah, I know. It's very interesting.
It's very much not for me, but a lot of times when you see...
I could see utilizing wine and like having it or water representing it as a life-giving fluid.
Yeah, and when you talk
I can
about
feel
traditional Wicca, we talk about like the chalice, which holds the wine, and the athame, which is this completely ceremonial dagger, and they insert the athame into the chalice, which is filled with wine.
Yeah,
and it's supposed to represent the act of sex, which has a lot of power. So, and I mean, even sexual fluids and things like that can be used. Urine can also be used as well.
Great.
This is when we talk about more.
So,
like,
would you
really,
say
really old kinds of
that
witchcraft.
maybe perhaps golden showers came from witchcraft?
I don't know if I'd go that far.
No
I think
golden
people
showers.
have been depraved.
Maybe that's where the golden dawn came from.
You notice
Never
I'm being
know.
very quiet.
Yeah.
But when we talk about like specific kinds of banishing or like witch bottles and things like that, a lot of times people will insert period blood or urine or any sorts of things. Have you guys ever seen an indie movie that came out a few years ago called The Love Witch?
No!
You should.
5!
It's on Amazon, and she actually makes a traditional witch bottle, which you would use to dispel all kinds of negative energy. And you do that by using a lot of your own bodily fluids. So, I mean...
Are you getting excited about your cat?
I'm always excited about my cat, you guys.
You should be.
He's so amazing.
He's adorable. And he's so soft. Like, my cats are not this soft.
Sahara's very Beyonce.
She is.
That's my
She has an
adjective.
attitude.
But also, hair's everywhere.
Yes.
I love it. But yeah, so I can see how it's appealing.
Yeah.
To use bodily fluid.
I can see how it could be powerful, but...
Yeah.
Like, that goes back hundreds and hundreds and hundreds
It feels
of
like
years.
a very old age thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'll ever delve into that.
It's something that I don't really discriminate against, because it's also something where it's like, I've used my own hair and fingernail clippings in order to activate a guardian that's in my home.
Right,
So,
right. No,
yeah.
no, that makes sense.
I mean, it's sort of the same thing to me.
I feel like if you're wanting to connect with things or connect with things around you, using something that came from yourself is probably one of the absolute most powerful ways to do that.
I would just lick it though.
There's a certain ick factor that's associated with it, but especially when you start getting into bodily fluids. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just something where it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've had so many tests. I'm like a human pincushion. I've had my blood drawn so many times at this point. It's just like, it's not a thing.
It's nothing.
So
I have such tiny veins. It's always a thing.
Yeah, it's always a thing with me.
It's always.
You
a
need
thing.
to drink a lot of water.
I do drink a lot of water, and then they get slightly larger, but still absolutely tiny. It's like really bad. Like I'll drink hydrate purposefully before I go get blood drawn, and it's still most. I had this one beautiful phlebotomist who worked at this doctor's office I was going to, and that woman, she had me working with magic. She could get me every time, no problem, never hurt me, and just to put it in perspective, most places I get stuck more than twice.
Oof.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've had that happen a lot too.
Yeah.
I've actually been stuck so many times that the nurse was not allowed to try anymore. She had to go get a different nurse.
Yeah.
I got stuck 6 times when I was going into surgery.
Oof.
And then the 7th time, which 7 is my favorite number.
7 and 13 are my favorite numbers.
Oh, 7 and 13 are pretty great numbers. So then the anesthesiologist came in and did it on the first try. And I was like, you're just fantastic. But they had to change my sheets.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's no
See,
bueno.
If you were a witch, sanguine?
Sanguine, yes.
Sanguine?
Yes.
Which you would have just been like, can I keep...
They're not going to let me keep the sheets. They're going to wash them.
Maybe if you begged really hard.
I was 11, but okay. Then there's sigil witches.
You made it sound like it happened a minute ago.
Maybe.
Like a hot
Maybe
minute.
it did. A hot
Not
minute.
a hot minute.
hot minute. Hot. So there's sigil witches. They're witches that work majorly with sigils and the intent that can be put into them to activate their power. Then there's arts and crafts witches.
Should we go into what a sigil is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
So a sigil is a personalized symbol that usually comes from specific shapes or letters that have to do with your intention. So you would create your own personal symbol that you would imbue with power, and that's sort of almost creates like its own letter or shape.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
and it has like a meaning to you.
Yeah. So it's all very personalized, and then that person would imbue that with power. Possibly write it with a specific kind of ink that may have different herbs or ashes or something in it, in order to essential oils, in order to sort of help like elevate it as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then there's arts and crafts witches.
Yeah.
That is witchcraft that can be worked through arts and crafts. What do you know?
Like my googly eyes.
Yeah, one may imbue magic in creative activities such as painting, drawing, building, cutting, and creating. So that's pretty fucking cool. The googly eyes is a good example.
Yeah.
Putting all those googly eyes. That must have taken you a long time.
It didn't take as long as you would think.
No?
No.
Interesting. So then...
It was a small jar.
We'll end here, and then we'll have a third
Part
types
3.
of witches,
Cool
part
beans.
3.
Cool beans.
So the last one is a neutral witch. It's a gray witch who practices magic that neither benefits or harms others. So gray magic may also both harm and benefit at the same time. Balancing and neutralizing is the key in the magic. So if you're doing something bad for someone else, it may be good for another person. What are you doing, you crazy?
I'm just holding the candle.
Cool.
So the best like description I've heard of this is sort of like talking about, you have a tumor that's cancerous, so you need to go have the tumor removed. Which is great for you, but not for the tumor.
Right.
So it's sort of, you have to sort of analyze both sides of things.
Right.
I am very much a gray witch. I don't stick to anything that is specifically good or bad. I go in between, because the way that I see it, my gods are not all powerful, and they're not infallible, and neither is nature and neither am I.
Right.
So I sort of go in between because they are too. So.
I can see that, like, I definitely feel drawn towards that as well, because I'm, like, super chaotic neutral. Like, I do what I want, but I still care about things.
Like, I will,
but
I'm
very,
absolutely...
it depends on the situation. Yeah. It's very flexible.
Yeah. And I'm very much the same way, where it's like, I care very much and I want to do the best things for people, but I also have to, and I still struggle with this, set my own boundaries and say, okay, that's enough.
It's not like you have a strict set of rules that you feel like you have to go by.
Yeah.
And it's not like, because stupid or evil. It's just, you analyze every situation and form your own, like, personal beliefs and personal values off that.
Yeah.
I found that's, like, very much helped me in growing out of the very culty Christianity I came from. Just realizing that there, like you said, there's no absolutes.
Yeah.
So I don't live my life like that.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Well, wait. If there's no absolutes, is that an absolute?
Now who's the devil's advocate?
There's an exception to every rule.
You're correct. I just caught you in a fallacy of logic. And so, congratulations. That's the first thing that I was like... That's the first thing that I learned that was a fallacy or a logic fallacy. And so I always, whenever someone says that, I always like to ask that question. So there are some things that are absolutes.
Yes.
But they are rare. You're
Very
correct.
rare.
Yes. Not it, most things are not.
99%. All you have to
99%.
do is take some English classes, and you'll know there's exceptions to
Exactly.
every rule.
Or math. And yes, everything.
Does math have exceptions?
Girl, I don't even want to fuck your mind with how much math was dumbed down for us in elementary and, like, middle school and high school and college, because, like, we just don't, we're not to that level of, like, fucking rocket scientists and, like, need to know that, like, everything, because we were taught in a specific way.
There's quantum where, like, you don't understand
Oh my god, yes. But also, like, there's imaginary numbers and unreal numbers, which are not the same fucking thing, but I'm not even going to get into that. All I wanted to mention at the end of that was the other fallacy that I learned about this week is SPF, anything above SPF 50 is a fucking lie.
That's bullshit.
Oh my god, I didn't know. You guys gotta tell me this shit. Like, I can't find it out for myself. Bitch!
Girl, I don't feel like I can tell people I have SPF 100 that I bought and thinking it was going to be great for my skin. And then I learned that, I'm like, motherfucker.
So, I want to educate everyone else so you don't feel duped. SPF, anything above SPF 50 is a lie.
Yeah.
It does not, they can put whatever number on there because it's not regulated. So, as long as it's SPF 50 or quote unquote stronger, they can put whatever fucking number they want to on there. It doesn't mean that it's going to work any better than SPF 50. They're just lying to you. They want you to buy their product.
Yep.
Fun fact.
So don't pay for anything extra over 50.
Yeah, no. I've actually only put on SPF 30 because unless I'm intentionally staying outside.
Yeah.
But then I found out people that put on SPF like 150 don't put it on as often as they need to because they have that.
Because they think that it's going to last longer.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
It doesn't.
No, it lasts as long as the SPF 50.
And I mean, honestly, if you're using something like SPF 30 or SPF 50, I mean, just because the number is higher doesn't mean it's going to last longer. It just means that it's going to block more of the UV radiation.
Yes, so SPF 50 blocks 98%. Mm-hmm. SPF 100 blocks 99%. You can't block 100%.
Yeah.
So it's just like SPF 50 has
to block.
There are no
absolutes.
That's the whole point of me saying that, though. I was just like, holy shit. It's crazy. But thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed this. We're going to have the part 3. Because we still have... There is. We haven't even talked about heathenry. I thought we were going to get to heathenry today. We didn't even talk about lunar or like crystal witches, literary witches. We got a lot of shit to work with.
It makes me really happy, like chuckle inside when you thought we were going to do this in one session.
I know.
We talk too much.
We do. Well, it's nice to give people examples, though. We will finish them next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we don't have too many more. But we got through a very good chunk today.
Yeah.
We just have, so we'll...
Just enough to do another episode.
Exactly. And so we'll finish
3
up.
is a very magical number.
Yeah.
So,
it's also very magical because it's in fairy tales.
Exactly.
But yeah. And fairy tales are magic. So next time we'll talk about bone witches. Starting off. Bone witches.
Bone witches.
All right.
Thanks for joining us,
Thanks.
guys.
Bye.
We'll see you next time. Bye.